They have no case.
Why not call Bolton? Why not allow him to testify? This thing is bogus. Why
I would have no
Bolton
problem other than one thing. You can't be in the White House as president future. I'm talking about future, many future presidents, and have a security advisor. Anybody having to do with security and legal and other things.
You're going to invoke executive privilege?
Well, I think you have to for the sake of the office. I would love everybody to testify. I like Mick to testify. I like Mike Pompeo to testify. I like Rick Perry to testify. I want everybody. But there are things that you can't do from the standpoint of executive privilege. You have to maintain that. So we'll see where it all goes. But especially a national security advisor, you can't have him explaining all of your statements about national security concerning Russia, China, North Korea, everything. You just can't do that. So I think for the good of the office.
Probably the craziest part about Trump's stream of consciousness interview with Fox News' Laura Ingraham is Trump claiming that he wants Bolton and Mulvaney to testify, but he's selflessly thinking about future presidents and how compelling his testimony would weaken their rights to executive privilege. If this was just about him, then of course he'd allow his officials to testify. But if we know anything about Donald Trump, it's that he's always thinking about others, and so his hands are tied. Of course, for the not brain dead out there, no, Trump is not protecting the integrity of executive privilege out of sheer altruism. He's doing it to protect himself. He doesn't want anyone to testify because their testimony will be damning. Think about it. If Trump is really as innocent as he spends all day screaming he is, then why wouldn't he simply want as much information possible to be revealed? If the truth is on his side, then he should have nothing to hide. And yet, because we're not small children, we know that the reason Trump wants to suppress information is because that information exposes the truth about his criminal behavior. Now, here's the thing. Trump says that allowing testimony would put the security of the United States at risk, and so he maintains that all conversations with the former National Security Advisor, John Bolton, as well as his Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, and others, are all privileged. So let's look for a moment at privilege and how it relates to impeachment. Leading up to Richard Nixon's impeachment trial, when he tried to claim executive privilege over the recordings that would eventually show the smoking gun that he coordinated the cover-up of Watergate, the Supreme Court not only ruled against Nixon's executive privilege claim, they ruled against it unanimously. The court said expressly that historic commitment to rule of law outweighs a president's generalized need for privacy, and that because Congress is tasked with investigating wrongdoing by the president and ultimately deciding impeachment, the interest of those investigators uncovering the truth outweighs a president's interest in keeping communications private. In other words, if the legislative branch's request for information or witness testimonies is pitted against executive privilege, past precedent doesn't bode well at all for Trump and the White House. Also, it should be noted that according to the 1974 ruling, presidential privilege is, quote, limited to communications in performance of a president's responsibilities of his office made while shaping policies and decisions. But Trump is accused of using his presidential powers to shape policies and decisions that advance his own personal interest. So even if he could claim privilege, it wouldn't cover the information that he's trying to shield. Of course, this isn't about precedent or legality or facts at all. It's simply about Trump blindly and desperately defending himself by stifling the testimony that any normal juror would want to hear. Like the new information revealed in just the few weeks between the conclusion of the House inquiry and now, that Trump directed the military aid to Ukraine to be withheld only 91 minutes after his call with Ukrainian President Zelensky, which I'm sure is just a total coincidence. Or the new report revealing that Mick Mulvaney was directly involved in withholding the aid, emailing an aide in the Office of Management and Budget about it, to which that aide, Robert Blair, replied that it would be possible, but to expect Congress to become unhinged. And look, I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but when you already know that Congress will become, quote, unhinged because of your actions, there is a minor chance that what you're doing isn't above water. Or the unredacted Pentagon email showing that not only were Defense Department officials increasingly concerned that the decision to hold aid would violate the Impoundment Control Act, which requires the executive branch to spend money as agreed by Congress, but also that the move was a, quote, clear direction from POTUS. Add that to the news that John Bolton has, quote, many relevant meetings and conversations connected to the Ukraine pressure campaign that the House doesn't yet know about, and it becomes clear just how indisputably necessary it is to allow new witnesses to testify in this trial if we're even going to pretend that impartial justice is being carried out. So Trump will inevitably continue to gaslight the American people, and his sycophants at Fox News like Laura Ingraham will give him a platform to do it, but the truth couldn't be more obvious. Trump is simply scared that anyone else testifying under oath will only further bury him in what is already an open and closed case. And so as many times as he lies with his justifications for trying to suppress the testimony of relevant witnesses, we should respond with this simple statement: if you have nothing to hide, let them testify.